So
Cool.
here's the exciting news. I'm so pumped. I'm officially announcing I have signed a 1-year deal with Ryan Laplante and LearnProPoker to be Ryan's protege and KL's teammate. He's going to be backing me for the next year, online and live play. He's going to be coaching me personally, and we're going to be taking a content journey together. Some of that's going to be happening on LearnProPoker. Some of that's going to be happening on YouTube. So when Ryan called with the opportunity to partner with him in LearnProPoker, I was absolutely blown away. I'd actually looked into Ryan a couple years ago, possibly to hire him as a coach, and at the time he wasn't cheap, and he was very, very popular, so he didn't have a lot of time, and then he was having a lot of success with the World Series of Poker at the time, and it was hard to get access to him, and he was on a short list of people that I was kind of under my dream coaches of people that I'd want to be under someday. And so to have this opportunity come forth to have private coaching with him and to work with him one-on-one and to be a part of his stable and be staked by him, I'm not even sure that reality is sunk in yet right now. It couldn't be at a better time in my life. So much of my poker journey has been 8 steps forward, 7 steps back. Build a bankroll, invest that bankroll into family needs. Build a bankroll, invest that bankroll into family needs. And I've never been at a place where I could really devote 100% of myself to the game until now. My wife's graduated. My kids are largely out of school. And I'm in a place now where I can take on this amazing journey and go head first into poker and see what I really can be. And that's really the crux of this entire year-long journey that we're all going to go on together is, who is Rob Gardner and what kind of poker player is he? Is he a high-stakes poker player? Is he a mid-stakes poker player? Is he a winning poker player? So many questions to be answered over the next 365 days. So my first session with Ryan was amazing. It's actually technically my second session. I did a coaching session with him for the Triple Threat Challenge that was really good and eye-opening and had a major impact on my game. And this session was no different. We spent over an hour going through my statistics in the database and finding leaks and areas that I needed to improve on. And what was great was that Ryan was able to not just see stats that needed to change and explain how I could change them. He also had some insight into why I was likely having issues at the time. And so it was really good to get a lot of practical perspective on what needed to change and where I needed to go. And I ended up with 2 full pages of notes that I knew I was going to need some time to get through and study in order to be able to apply it and be successful. And I was so ready to dig in. So day 1 was interesting. Back with the Triple Threat Challenge, our first stream, our first session for the Triple Threat Challenge, we came out and had an epic bank. It was a ton of momentum, a ton of excitement to come right out of the gate hot and aggressive. And I was really hoping that I could do the same thing here. Unfortunately, the cards did not really work out the way I hoped. And then after my deep runs on ACR went to the wayside off stream, I grinded some ignition, and I had one tournament that I thought may be the one. One tournament that I thought maybe would be the one that would allow me to maybe get that bank. And we got down to the final 15, and some crazy fireworks happened. This is a big spot. Big spot. Wow, no, it's so gross. Oh my gosh, are you serious? And despite all that, I still thought we could spin it up, stay positive, focus, but it just wasn't meant to be. In fact, one of the cruelest things in poker is to play a tournament for 6 hours and just come up a little bit short. So you got a decision? Oh my gosh. Come on, seriously? We're gonna bubble the final table. Well, that was a frustrating first session. So Thanksgiving was as nice as you would expect in a crazy COVID era. We hopped on a Zoom call and talked with my parents. They're down in Texas. They decided about a year ago to take a multi-year RV journey. They purchased a RV. They travel all over the United States. It was kind of one of their lifelong dreams. And so they're out touring the world and exploring different areas. And they're currently hunkered down in Texas, trying to stay safe and not get COVID. And it was a great time to reflect and talk about the past, the present, the future, and obviously be thankful for many of the things in our lives, including this incredible opportunity. But there was not a lot to be thankful for at the poker tables that day. I think I'm gonna check, let him bluff at this. Of course, he's just got it. That's so gross! Why? Why you gotta do us like that? The rest of the week seemed very similar in terms of outcomes. We continued to make deep runs. Our stats look really good. Looking at our stats since my first coaching session with Ryan for this journey, I'm running a little over 12 big blinds per 100 on ACR, all in adjusted. It's really good. It's not a guarantee that you're going to be profitable. It's not a guarantee you're going to be successful, but generally speaking, that's kind of between that 10 and 15 ranges where we want to sit. And while it is a small sample size, it's a good trend in the right direction. Some of the specific things that Ryan has given me to work on that I've started to apply to my game, having a higher check raise. I came into this with a 3% check raise. It's really, really low, really bad. I've gotten it up to 19%. My raise first in, which basically means I'm raising when it's folded to me from the cutoff and the big blind were too short. Both were about 30 to 35%. Ryan wanted to see me get my cutoff to around 40 to 45, my button all the way up to over 50, and we've been able to get both up into the 40s. I still have some work to do there on the button. I've been getting my CBET percentage up. I was in the low 70s. We've been working on trying to get that up to the 80s. So we've seen all of the stats starting to trend in the right direction, and the stats that kind of dictate how well we're playing at the tables are trending in the right direction, but the results just haven't been there yet. Despite how the session ended, the week ended on a really high note. I spent some time railing Ryan on some of his tables, listening to his thought process, and we just kind of started talking about poker as a whole, the journey that I'm on, my career, opportunities that are ahead for me. And I just got really re-energized and re-excited for the future. And I just found myself listening to him talk about all of the opportunities coming up and wanting to prepare myself, wanting to be ready. When you think about live poker coming back in 2021 as vaccines get passed around and stuff, there's going to be so much opportunity. And Ryan just renewed an energy and passion inside of me to study, to dig deeper, to grow, to improve myself. And I think that's a big part of why I've never reached my ceiling in this game, is because I've done some studying, or I've done enough studying, or I've done some learning, but I've never really fully committed myself to the process. And so heading into this next week, yeah, we're down a couple $100 or whatever. I am so pumped to get out there, to really dig in, to study, to work hard, to learn and adjust on these areas. Again, I've got 2 pages of notes of adjustments to make. I really want to work on those. I really want to study those. And I'm also in the process of setting up study sessions. I've been calling some of my friends and saying, hey, let's hop on a study session for an hour or 2 hours. Let's iron sharpens iron. Let's get better together. Let's learn together and grow. Because I really believe that the most successful learners, and Ryan echoed this last night, you have to learn in 3 ways. You need a mentor that is above you, that learns and teaches you to come to their level. You need peer learning, people that are at the same level that you, that are coming up together with you, that you can collaborate with and grow and learn from each other's mistakes. And you need to be a teacher, because there's something about applying yourself into people below you that maybe are earlier in their journey, right? And helping them grow and helping them come to you, that also helps to solidify your thought process. In something about particularly communicating that thought process allows you to internalize it better. And Ryan made a huge point about doing some coaching and getting out there and doing some coaching. So there's going to be some opportunities here in the future. Maybe calling on some of you guys. If you guys want some coaching, we'll be putting some out. We're talking about maybe putting a study group together at LearnProPoker. There's going to be a lot of opportunities from this. But the bottom line is, listen, this week was not a failure. This week was not a failure. Yeah, we ended up down a couple $100 on the stake. But you know what? Our stats have improved. Our confidence has improved. We are making plays that we didn't even dream of making a year ago, 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago. And we've got a renewed passion and vigor to get in the lab and really study. And I think that as we move forward, there's going to be incredible opportunities, and we're going to make the most of them. I am huge on taking advantage of opportunities. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to see poker come back in March of April next year. They're like, oh man, there's going to be a series. I got to get ready. And they're going to like put last minute trips together, and they're going to do stuff. And we're going to start it back here in November. You guys are going to look back to the journey in November and say, man, Rob saw this coming 8 months out, and Rob started prepping in November, and look where Rob is now in May. Look where Rob is now in June. This is what we're working towards. This is what we're going to be working hard for. And I'm pumped for what's coming in week 2. That's it for this episode of The Journey. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to mix it up in the coming weeks. I'm not going to give you 52 weeks of all of the exact same programming. There's going to be some interviews. There's going to be some organic vlogs. There's going to be some highlight reels. We're going to have a little bit of everything over this next 51 weeks. But I hope you enjoyed it. As always, you guys can follow this journey on YouTube at youtube.com/RobGardnerLive, on Twitter at twitter.com/RobGardnerLive, and on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PokerPastor, where I'm streaming 4 days a week on this bankroll, stake, challenge, journey, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be an amazing time. Special shout out to LearnProPoker and Ryan Laplante for taking this project on. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I just can't stress enough how much I do not take that for granted, and how I just want to make the most of it. I want to make them proud. I want to make you guys proud. And most of all, I want to show you guys that this is not just a journey for me, but it can be a journey for you. That's it for me, Rob Gardner. We'll see you guys next week.